tell me that I was only dreaming. You're not really gone as long as I believe. There will be another angel around the throne tonight. Your love lives on inside of me, and I will hold on tight. It's not my place to question, only God knows why. I'm just jealous of the angels around the throne tonight. Always made my troubles feel so small, and you were always there to catch me when I'd fall. In a world where heroes come and go, well, God just took the only one I know. So I'll hold you as close as I can, longing for the day when I see your face again. But until then, God must need another angel around the throne tonight. Your love lives on inside of me, and I will hold on tight. It's not my place to question, only God knows why. I'm just jealous of the angels around the throne tonight. Singing hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm just jealous of the angels around the throne tonight.
Alright, how's everybody doing tonight? I know it's been a while before I did a live feed. So, hi everybody. Thank you for all the people that is watching this. This is very important tonight. This is what is going to break Fayette County. This is what is going to prove that everything I have been saying that has been going on for the past 6 years, even though my daughter's case is unsolved for 13 years coming this April, but for the last 6 years, with change of hands and who's lead detective on her case and everything else, I'm going to prove some things tonight. I think a lot of people on here, if you live in Fayette County, you're going to say, oh, there's no way this happened. I know this person, he wouldn't do such a thing. That's the problem with a lot of things I notice in our community is a lot of people think because they live next door to somebody or because they're best friends with somebody that they cannot do wrong. That they believe that, well, I grew up with that person, he goes to church every Sunday. And you'd be surprised actually how many people do go to church and actually how many people that go to church go home, beat their wives, they're alcoholics, so just because they go to church And because they sit there and they put a Bible in their lap and they listen to a pastor or preacher preach God, doesn't mean that they're a good person. And I notice that when I see things that come up on my Facebook, and I see people all the time saying, well, I grew up with that person. Man, I know that person. They wouldn't do that. You'd be surprised how many people in this world have a lot of stuff that's inside of a closet. And they hide it inside that closet. And even my own self, when my daughter was murdered, there was one prosecutor that dealt with it. This prosecutor shouldn't have never touched my daughter's case. I fought it, it didn't happen. Eventually he stepped down and became a juvenile court judge. Somebody else took his position. I'm thinking, wow, man, you know, new prosecutor on my daughter's case. He's going to see things that I'm seeing. I'm going to go to him, explain what's going on with my daughter's case. And the whole time I thought, wow, you know, this is a young person. You know, when he talked to me, he was all about, yes, we need to do this, we need to do that. And the whole time, I fell for it. Person I thought would not go against the father that's trying to get justice for his child has. Any of y'all that can remember, I did a live video back, I want to say it was last year or maybe the year before, where I went into the prosecutor's office. Some of you guys remember the live feed. And I went into there and I asked the prosecutor, the secretary that the prosecutor was there. They told me he wasn't there. And the whole time I was live. And I knew he was there. You know, I mean, when you have a case like mine with my daughter, you know when everybody's at their job, so that you can go and visit and work on my daughter's case. And when I got out and went in there, they told me that he was gone for the day. And I said, okay, well, what about tomorrow, which would have been Thursday? And they're like, oh, he's taking that day off too. I said, well, what about Friday? And they said, well, he has court Friday. And the whole time I'm dragging this because I know he's there. So I'm dragging these questions to the secretaries of the prosecutor. And I'm sitting there and I'm dragging along. And all of a sudden I look up and there he is, the prosecutor, peeking through the window. And I notice he's there. So I leave and go outside to try to catch him outside. He comes through another door and goes in through another door. And I come back around real quick and walk in, and I'm like, what's up, man? You know, what's going on? I said, you know, I need to talk to you. And he said, well, I got court. Well, wait a minute. Your secretary just said you was gone for the day. You're telling me you got court. So, you know, who's telling the truth, who's lying? So then to get to it, that's the day I delivered my paperwork to demand things to be done with my daughter's case. And he's sitting there looking at them, reading them. He's got the secretary time-stamping them. Excuse me. And he tells me that I say, well, you know, you're supposed to represent my daughter, the victim, and me, the family member. And he said, no, I represent your daughter, and I represent the Fayette County Sheriff's Office. And I'm like, no, you can't represent. I'm coming in here with complaints about the Fayette County Sheriff's Office that has to do with my daughter's case, and you're telling me you represent them. You can't talk to me about that. And that makes no sense. Either you're representing Fayette County Sheriff's Office and you're representing their corruption, or you're representing Mackenzie and Mackenzie's sexual assault and her murder and arson. So you either got one or the other that you can represent. Because if you notice, and we've seen it, people know it, there's a lot of good cops out there. There's a lot of cops out there that are awesome cops. There's some here in Fayette County that I talk to all the time. You know, I have the upright respect for them. But then you do have some that are crooked. Bottom line, it happens. That's reality. But you can, as a prosecutor of the county that works for the state, tell me you can represent Mackenzie and you can represent the sheriff's office, because that's a conflict of interest. If I'm proving that the sheriff's office is covering up my daughter's murder, how can I give you this information if you're representing the sheriff's office? That tells me you're telling them everything I'm telling you. And then the whole time my daughter is sitting over here in left field and nothing's being done because we have this issue here. Because now you changed your venue and said, whoa, shit, I can't represent Mackenzie, but I'm going to stay her representative. But I can't represent her because I might have to protect the Fayette County Sheriff's Office because they're a county official and I'm the county prosecutor, and I have to represent them about what Donald Branham's bringing to me. So, right there alone, that tells you this prosecutor should not have my daughter's case, shouldn't even be touching my daughter's case, shouldn't even have any say on what happens to my daughter's case. It automatically should be taken out of his hands and given to somebody else outside of Fayette County. And this is why, what I'm going to prove to you all tonight, this is why it should be. Now, I got it on a CD, but my wife's computer is updating stuff, so I couldn't get it. So what I'm doing is I'm live on her phone, but what I'm going to show you is the videos live that's on my phone of what happened today as I went to see the prosecutor. I'm hoping that you guys can hear it. I pretty much got everything turned down in here and stuff so that you can hear this video. But what happened was I contacted somebody and I asked them to take me to go see the prosecutor. I already planned on what I was going to be told. So I already set my motions this morning when I blocked certain people on my Facebook page so that they couldn't get word out to what I was up to. And because, like I said, I'm good at what I do. You can call me a sneak, or you can call me whatever you want to call me, but I'm good at what I do to get justice for my daughter. I will, like I said, take my last breath just to get that answer. So I did set a trap, and I really don't want to say a trap because I already kind of knew what was going to happen, but I knew what I was going to do this morning when I left out of here. I knew what was going to happen, and this person actually helped me to prove a point of what's going on in Fayette County. So what I got here is, this is me going into the office.
Can you hang on a second? Hi, Mr. Branham.
Yeah, just read it.
Is he expecting you?
No.
Hang on just a minute. Hold on, Lisa, please. Thanks. Excuse me. I don't know if he's got someone back there now on the phone. He does have someone back there. Can I take a message?
No, I'll just wait.
Well, I'm going to call him.
That's right. I got all day.
Okay.
Alright, so what happened there, what it is, I hope you guys could hear it. Okay, what it is I walked into the prosecutor's office. I have it, like I said. My sound's not that good. I don't know where my wife's speaker is on this phone. But I walked into the prosecutor's office and I said, I'm here to see Jesse Wheat. Well, she was on the phone with somebody and she said, hold on a minute. What can I do for you, Mr. Branham? And I said, I'm here to see the prosecutor, Jesse Wheat. And she said, do you have an appointment? I said, no. She said, well, hold on. And she walks back there. She said, I think he has somebody in his office with him. I said, okay. So she walks back there in the office, comes back out. She says, he's with somebody. Can I go ahead and just take a message from you? And I said, no, I'll wait. And then she said, well, we can't, she said, it might be a little while. And I said, oh, well, I've got all day, which I did. I had all day. I could have sat out there in that courtroom all day long waiting on him to come out of that office. But unfortunately, he didn't. So what happened was I walked out to the vehicle we were in.